Hi, it's Chris at the Quilter's Nook, and it's time for another Studio 180 design technique. And today we're going to work with the Starburst Lemoyne. So this one is a little different than most that we've done. So let's get started on this one. We're going to start with our 2 strips like we normally do. We're going to have 2 strips here and our background fabrics. So I have my 2 strips put together. And we're going to, like we've always done, find our angle and cut that off. And then we're going to cut it into chunks. And this one tells me to do 2.5. Finish block 2.5. No, I'm not doing 2.5. What am I size am I doing? Yep, I'm doing 2.5. All right. So we're gonna do 2.5. So they're laid together, but we're cutting individual pieces, so nothing is sewn together yet. Now, we're gonna lay this straight in front of us, and we're gonna take our magic wand, and we're gonna put the center line point to point down the center of this, and mark both sides. This becomes our sewing lines, so we're going to sew right on those lines. When we are done, we're going to cut it in half down the center. You can take any ruler you want and cut right in between your 2 lines. Now we're going to press these open. So I'm just going to do a finger press, since I don't have an iron right here. And the one thing we need to remember or think about is which piece goes in which spot. When we trim this, we have to trim only what we're going to add to. So in my case, we're going to add to the purple. So we're going to trim the purple section. On the technique sheet, it will tell you to put a mark on the back of your tool. So we put Invisigrip here, and we've got a little mark that I've put on there. That's going to sit right in the center of our seam line. And we're only trimming the purple side. So we're going to come up. Okay, we've got our purple side cut. Now we're going to take our background squares, and like we've done before, we're going to cut 1/4 inch away from center. So we're going to put our 1/4 inch line corner to corner on our square and cut. That's going to give us our 2 pieces. Once we have those, then we're going to sew them on. So in this case, we're going to sew this one this way and this one this way. Turn it around so you can see it better. So we're going to sew it on just like we have been in the past. And we're going to end up with, of course, this is the opposite side, but you have your background pieces on your unit. Now we need to trim. And we're going to trim 6-inch block just like we've normally done. And you'll see that that line that we drew on the back of the tool is still on our seam line. And that's what we want. So then we're going to cut up, cut across, and we have our little unit. And when you put all those together, just like we would, you're going to match your centers, everything's going to nest for you, and you have a nice Starburst Lemoyne. So that was pretty easy, a little bit different in its construction, but it was a fun little block to make. So we'll do another one for you next time. Have a great day.